Imagine this. The year is 1974. You're hiding in the Philippine jungle, armed, alert, still fighting. But here's the thing. World War II ended 29 years ago. This is the story of Lieutenant Hiroo Onoda, the man who refused to surrender, the soldier who couldn't stop fighting, and the 3 decades of war that existed only in his mind. March 19th, 1922, Hiroo Onoda is born in central Japan. He's 18 when he enlists in 1940, young, eager, ready to serve the empire. But Onoda isn't sent to the front lines. No, he's handpicked for something special. The Nakano Military School in Tokyo, an elite facility, the place where they forge shadows, commandos, spies. Here, Onoda learns guerrilla warfare, martial arts, covert operations, propaganda techniques. But more than anything, he learns loyalty, absolute, unbreakable loyalty. They teach him that surrender is worse than death, that his duty to the emperor transcends everything, even his own life. December 1944, Lieutenant Onoda receives his orders. Destination, Lubang Island, Philippines, a tiny speck of land 93 miles southwest of Manila. His mission is clear: destroy the airfield, destroy the harbor, stop the Allied invasion at all costs. But when he arrives, everything goes wrong. His superior officers need that airfield, not to fight, to evacuate. Onoda's mission is redirected. The orders he was trained to follow, abandoned before they even begin. And this failure, it haunts him. February 28, 1945. American forces storm Lubang. The Japanese defenses crumble. Soldiers are killed, captured, evacuated. But Onoda's commanding officer, Major Yoshimi Taniguchi, pulls him aside. The order is simple: never surrender, keep fighting, stay alive. And so he does. August 15th, 1945, Japan surrenders. The war is over. Leaflets fall from the sky over Lubang, announcing the end. But when other Japanese holdouts show one to Onoda in October, he laughs. Propaganda, he says. American tricks. Another leaflet arrives, this time with General Yamashita's explicit order to surrender. Onoda examines it carefully. Forgery, he declares. You see, Onoda was trained in propaganda. He knows every trick, every deception, and in his mind, this is just another one. He has his orders, and he will follow them. Onoda and his 3 remaining men vanish into the jungle. They wage guerrilla warfare, raiding villages, stealing supplies, fighting search parties. But they don't see civilians or police. No, in their minds these are enemy forces, collaborators, coerced Japanese soldiers working for the Allies. Their survival is brutal. Banana skins, coconuts, stolen rice. When locals withhold food, Onoda sees it as a tactic, an enemy strategy to starve them out. Jets scream overhead during the Korean War. Onoda watches them. Japanese counteroffensive, he concludes. Every piece of evidence that contradicts his reality is reframed, reinterpreted, dismissed. But his men? They start to doubt. Yuichi Akatsu leaves the group. 6 months later, he surrenders. Letters drop from the sky. Family photos, personal messages. The war is over, they say. Come home. Onoda studies them. Fakes, he decides. His companion, Shoichi Shimada, is shot in the leg during a raid. Shimada is killed. Now there are only 2, Onoda and Kinshichi Kozuka. For years, they live in caves, gathering intelligence, avoiding ambushes, clashing with villagers. Over time, they kill 30 civilians, 30 people who weren't soldiers, weren't combatants, just people. But Onoda can't see it that way. Not yet. Tales of a phantom soldier spread across Lubang. Fear, hatred, a ghost that won't die. In his memoir, Onoda would later write that by 1959, he and Kazuka had become so locked into their beliefs that they couldn't process any information that contradicted their worldview. The indoctrination was complete. October 1972. Kazuka is killed by police gunfire. Now, Onoda is alone. 18 more months in the jungle. By himself. Maybe it's easier to stay. To keep believing the war continues. Because the alternative? Facing the truth. That his comrades died for nothing. That he killed innocent people. That the war he's been fighting ended 27 years ago. Norio Suzuki is a young Japanese adventurer. Bored with ordinary life, he decides to find 3 things: a panda, the abominable snowman, and Lieutenant Onoda. Astonishingly, he finds Onoda in just 4 days. They talk, they bond, they become friends. But when Suzuki asks him to come home, Onoda refuses. "I have orders," he says. "Only my commanding officer can relieve me of my duty." Suzuki returns to Japan. He tracks down Major Taniguchi, the man who gave the order 29 years ago, now a bookseller. March 9th, 1974. Taniguchi returns to Lubang. He finds Onoda in the jungle, and in front of cameras, witnesses, and history, he rescinds the order. "By command of Emperor Showa, you are relieved of your duty." Onoda breaks. Tears stream down his face as he surrenders his sword, his rifle, 500 rounds of ammunition, several grenades, and a dagger, given to him by his mother, to use if he was ever captured. He never needed it. Onoda returns to Japan at age 52. 8,000 people greet him as a hero. NHK films his arrival. He's still wearing his old imperial uniform, torn, faded, but intact. He presents his sword to Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos, who pardons him. His family, who believed him dead for decades, see him for the first time since he was 22. Japan, struggling with post-war identity and shifting values, embraces Onoda as a symbol. Loyalty, perseverance, duty. He writes a best-selling memoir. He's celebrated, compensated, but modern Japan doesn't feel like home anymore. In 1975, he moves to Brazil, runs a cattle ranch, marries, lives quietly. Then in 1980, he reads about a Japanese teenager who murdered his parents. Something shifts in him. He returns to Japan and establishes survival camps for young people, teaching them resilience, discipline, the skills he learned in the jungle, not to fight wars, but to survive life. January 16th, 2014, Hiroo Onoda passes away at age 91. Pneumonia. He leaves behind a story that's almost impossible to believe. A man who fought a war that didn't exist, who killed for a cause that had ended, who remained loyal to the very end. Was he a hero? A victim? A symbol of something greater? Maybe all 3. Because Onoda's story isn't just about war. It's about belief, indoctrination, the terrifying power of orders we refuse to question, and the extraordinary consequences when duty is taken to its absolute extreme.